Hello everyone, this is Ripper, and today we are playing Slasher Pre-Alpha. Again, disclaimer, this game is in very early pre-alpha and is in a closed pre-alpha state, so no one else can get access. I apologize for those of you who would like access. They will have some kind of open format eventually, whether it be a full retail release or an open beta, something like that. I'm not 100% certain. But this is pre-alpha, so everything and anything could change. Anyway, back to the main focus of this video, which is going to be some more advanced combat stuff that is coming in Slasher. Specifically, chambering. But before I show you chambering, I'm going to show you something I neglected to mention in the last combat video, which I meant to show, but I had no idea it was there. So, in Chivalry, and I'm going to keep using these Chivalry comparisons because, you know, that's what you guys know. So in Chivalry, you get the standard slash, alt slash, I can't show the alt slash, overhead, and stab, right? Yeah. Now, in this game, I showed you guys that you can do an underhanded strike, right? But there was no way of making a very fluid sort of striking system. Like, anybody who's played Mountain Blade Warband or Mountain Blade knows the combat system is really great. You point in a direction and you swipe it. Slasher has something similar. It's called the 360 combat system, and it's really great. I actually had to turn it on in the settings. I had to make the hotkey my mouse button. And it does this. If I'm looking to the upper right of an enemy, it'll do an overhead. You have to make it very pronounced. It'll do an overhead, and it chop his leg off. If you look to the right of an enemy, it'll do that. If you look to the left of an enemy, yeah, it only works on living enemies. I probably should not have killed the guy. Maybe we pull out a smaller weapon and reload the map. So, I absolutely love this system, because I can just do this. Oh, I was actually looking at his name. If I look to the left of him... Yep. I think you have to be moving to really make it work fluidly. Well, that works. It works in combat. I'll show you it in an actual bloody combat scenario. It doesn't work if they're standing still. But I like the system a lot. Obviously, again, pre-alpha. It might have a bug somewhere. That AI obviously has some bugs. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, let's try to show you in a combat scenario how this looks. I will get to chambering eventually. Shit. That was an actual chamber. That was also a chamber. But let me show you this combat system. So I can just look in a direction, fluidly do an underhand, overhand, side swipe. It's really fluid and dynamic, and I like that a lot. You can just move your camera and click your mouse in a very conscientious and fluid way, and I like that a lot. And I don't think Chivalry really captures that well. Fucking feints. Alright, on to chambers. I showed you a couple chambers, but now I'm going to show you an actual chamber. That was a chamber. That was a chamber. Shit, that was a failed chamber. So, what is a chamber? A chamber is when you strike an opponent as they are striking you, as they are about to hit you. I don't know the actual mechanics of a real-life chamber. I didn't get that far in my longsword training. But in this game, in the last 200 milliseconds of an opponent's strike, before it hits you, correct me if that number is wrong, you can actually continue your strike. So watch this. I just continue to strike whilst blocking his. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, that's kind of overpowered if you can just do that with every strike, but you have to predict which strike your opponent is going to use. And they can use 7 different kinds of strikes. Left overhead, left swing, right swing, left underhand. You see, he just did an underhand. I was expecting a left side swing. Didn't work out that way. And also stabs. Stab chambers are really great because they completely do away with stab feints if you are quick enough to read them. And that is the main reason chambers are in this game, other than being an actual realistic aspect of longsword training. Chambers are the perfect counter to feints. I don't like feints, guys. I've made that completely obvious. But I know that they're an obvious part of historic medieval combat. And chambers are the perfect counter. I just fell for a lot of feints, but I wasn't really doing what I should have been doing. And I haven't been playing this game as much as I should. But I did play it with some masters recently, so they've kind of taught me this stuff. Anyway, let me show you guys just what it is to chamber. So, the AI really likes feinting. So, you see, that is the point of chambering right there. Catching someone in a feint. So, you might be thinking, well, it's the same thing as if they were just feigning normally, but maybe you get lucky. No, actually, interestingly enough, by having the option of chambering, you end up being much more aware of your opponent's feinting. You end up watching a lot more diligently for those feints. Because if you get good enough at chambers, you can literally just counter every single blow. Now, the counter to chambers are drags. So, yeah, every time he drags or uses a slow weapon, it's very difficult to chamber because you have to time it perfectly. With a fast weapon, you can actually have really awesome, quick, fast-paced back and forths. I'm going to switch to my light class next because I want to show you guys one of those quick back and forths. See, to someone who really likes to feint, you can just keep swinging. You can actually combo out of a parry, which is kind of cool. Let's chamber this sword stroke here. Oh. Oh, shit. Damn it. Chambered that. Oh. Good night, sir. God damn it, die. There we go. So let's change to a medium sort of class, who I think... He's got a longsword, that works. Longswords are pretty fast. Let's see if the AI changes. No, that's okay. Guys, how fast-paced it can be. In an actual player duel, I have been doing some player duels recently, and it's really, really awesome. They are just so fast-paced and so action-oriented. You see, sometimes chivalry duels can get really drawn out between you and your opponent, like circling each other. That can happen in this game too, but the battles, they are just absolute life and death. You don't have a massive health pool, as though you're both knights in this game. If you're wearing a lot of armor, then yeah, you have decent health. But... Oop. Let me try to... I'm trying to show you guys a stab chamber. Ah, fuck, I got chopped in half. That's another cool thing about chambering is, like, it's totally risk-reward. It's a great risk-reward system. It's really awesome in that respect. They're difficult to do, but once you master them, you can effectively just destroy anyone. However, again, drags, very, very effective. But that right there, oh, almost got a stab chamber. That was a stab chamber. Super duper useful. And you are out of weapons, friend. So, that is essentially chambering, and I honestly think it is the biggest selling point of this game. I didn't even know it existed when I showed you guys those first two videos, but after I learned about it, I realized this game is just going to be so much better than Chivalry for that one aspect, because the fights are not going to be dictated by who can feint the best or read the most feints, which they pretty much were in competitive level Chivalry. In this game, it's going to be who has the fastest reaction time and who has the best ability to drag and predict, rather than just pattern recognition. I actually said this to my friends while I was dueling them in this game. Chivalry pretty much relies on pattern recognition to win. You have to be able to recognize a feint, or recognize when a feint's a good idea. There's really no other mechanics. Dragging's a thing, reverses and spinning are a thing, but we know that those are stupid. Thankfully, they're out of this game. But this game is all about reaction time. It's so realistic in that aspect. It's reaction... It's action, reaction, and very, very rewarding when you kill someone. Extremely rewarding. Like, I love winning duels. Against the AI, it's not that satisfying. But against people, winning a duel is just so... It's awesome. It gives you this great feeling like you have just totally outskilled this person. They didn't reverse you randomly to give them a lucky win or anything. And I don't think the AI knows how to chamber. So, whoops. So, if you guys don't see that, then yeah, that's why. But, yeah, I think this mechanic alone will just sell this game utterly to Chivalry people. And it may look very complicated, and that's okay. It looked pretty complicated to me, too, when they were showing it to me. But you get the hang of it surprisingly easily. You just have to know that the timing is very important. And, but once you get the hang of it, even just in a cursory fashion, once you get the hang of it, it's just so much fun. It gives you so much pleasure. Awesome. Just like chopping people to bits. Which I still love doing. Alright, so I think I'm going to cut this video short, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do comment your opinions on this chambering mechanic. The 360 combat mechanic, which I should have showed you guys earlier, which is the game's ability to sort of just use your cursor position to determine strike mode, so to speak. Like, favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and as always, have a grand day, and I shall see you, kind people, next time. Come at me, bro. Nyeh. These emotes are great. See you guys.